Hey, my tribe. This is Queen Amina Black Love coming at you with an update on this Tim Norman murder for hire case. It's a whole entire mess. I mean, it's just about as thick as his thighs and as heavy as those hips of his. Very, very tragic, but very, very interesting. People want to know about it. So I'm going to keep talking about it, and hopefully, you gain some information at the least about it. Some of the newer key details of new information is on yesterday, Terica Ellis, his accomplice in this murder for hire, had a Zoom court date. So the court date was set up for a motion for a complex case, is what they're calling it. And reading up a little bit on it, that means it's a first-degree murder case. As far as having the electronic devices involved interstate, going through more than one state, also makes it, labels it as a complex case. And it may even be a capital murder case. The death penalty is definitely on the table. So right now they could be looking at life or death. Tim's court date is actually today. So at some point today he will be arraigned if he hasn't already, because sometimes they do those early in the morning. So with that court date he'll have to enter a plea, guilty, not guilty. You probably remember from past, he had a couple court dates that he didn't bother to show up to. One, they said he just didn't want to be on camera, and then the second one, he said he was sick. So at this point, it's believed that he was kind of holding out because he's now acquired or hired his own personal private attorney. So that may be some of the reasons why he was holding out. And at this point now, there's three defendants. Terica Ellis, of course, his major accomplice. Y.L. Vagnum, he was the one who wrote the insurance policy out. And, of course, Tim Norman. So they have to get with all of these defendants and gather information and documents. And then they have a tentative court date set for December, or a trial date, actually, set for December 2nd. And this is just would be a pre-trial hearing. So it's set for December 2nd. And I think this is going to play out. They always want to do, speedy trial. But I think it will probably be sometime of the beginning of next year before we really get into the meat of this case and find out some things that we don't know about. Because I think Terica's talked as much as she's going to talk. Don't know if she really knows more and doesn't want to share, or she's sharing what she knows, because I'm sure she wants out of prison. It's been said that she has, a sick child who's 2 or 3 years old that needs constant care, that she wanted to get out to, care for her child. Of course, bail was denied. So there's a transcript out now that's pretty thick in reference to this Zoom court date that Terica had on yesterday. And it just pretty much consists of the judge asking the investigators or the detectives in this trial questions, about what happened along the way. And it's thick, so of course we're not going to read it all, but I just want to read a few passages that I think may shed some light on things, or may tell you something you already know. But I thought they were interesting enough to mention. Question: and when Miss Ellis when Miss Ellis advised you that she met Tim Norman, you said at the Bottoms Up Strip Club in St. Louis. Is that right? The answer was no. That's where she met Mr. Montgomery. Okay. Did she state where she met Mr. Norman? And the answer was they met around 2011 or 2012 through mutual friends. So her relationship with Tim didn't start with him hiring her to lure Andre out. She'd known him a few years already. And their relationship is kind of puzzling because we don't know what it was. But, nonetheless, she knew him for quite some time. So the next question: in your investigation, basically doesn't indicate that Ellis ever knew anything about the insurance policy. The answer was no. She didn't know anything about the insurance policy. And which I would, kind of gear to thinking that maybe she didn't, because he was getting upwards to $500,000, half a bill off of the insurance policy. He paid her $10,000. So she probably did not know that. He probably didn't include her in, or let her know the fact that he had an insurance policy. Mainly his game with her is that this guy stole $200,000 from my mom. I need you to try to get up with him so my boys can get up with him. So that's probably the most she knew. And he told her he'd pay her, so, she was game to do that. Another question, and can you advise the court of what she told you occurred on the day of the homicide? Yes. She received a message from Mr. Norman to meet up with him at a hotel. She responded to the hotel where she met and they had sex and showered. Mr. Norman asked her if she knew Mr. Montgomery. She stated that she did, and after she looked at the photograph of Mr. Norman that Mr. Norman had showed her. He requested her assistance with locating him after he notified her of a burglary that occurred at his mother's residence where approximately $200,000 in cash was stolen. He advised her that he would pay her for her assistance. At the time, she told us that she received $5,000 to do this. That was later determined that she was confirmed with evidence that she said it was actually $10,000. I don't know, it's written kind of funny. I'm muffling through it. But anyway, basically what it says is that wasn't true. It was actually $10,000. She said Mr. Norman went to Walgreens that was close to the hotel and obtained 2 burner phones, prepaid cell phones, and put the phone number for her to contact him when she locates Mr. Montgomery. She did contact Mr. Montgomery and met him at a hotel. So initially she met this young man at a hotel. Kind of suspect. Anyway, she went ahead and contacted Mr. Norman once she met him at the hotel and told him that she was able to get his location. Mr. Norman advised her that his boys were not ready at that time, to stay in touch and to call the number that he placed in her cell phone on the burner phone when she locates Mr. Montgomery once again. And of course, we all know when she located him again, it was at his house. She lured him out there with the promise of some type of pants. I don't know what kind of pants those were, but she evidently lured him out there with the pants. And of course, that is when the homicide occurred. That is when the homicide happened. Another question they ask is, were there any statements made to Miss Alice by Mr. Norman that there was a belief that Tim Norman would kill or have her killed? And the answer was, I don't recall. This is what the investigator said he didn't recall. And so, I mean, the interesting part of it is we don't really know what her relationship was with Andre. I don't know if she had the same type of relationship with both of them, because she apparently was having sexual relationships with Tim. She admitted that. There wasn't anything noted about her and Andre as far as sex-wise goes, but there definitely was some type of relationship. She knew him, he knew of her. And she was able to lure him out of the house. And after that, of course, that was when Andre was murdered. So there's a lot of details that we're missing, we're not privy to, and I think they will come out when the court case actually goes to trial. So there's a lot, that we still have to peel back, and I, for one, am interested. And I know other people are interested, so I'll, try to do as much footwork as I can to get information on it, and bring it to you as it comes. And of course, like I said, today Tim is in court, so I'm sure there will be more information about that later on as well. So, a lot. Exhausting, sad, tragic story. This young man, cut down in the prime of his life by his own family member, no least. So, let me know, how you think it will come out, because right now they face either death or life. They could get either. And what do you think it's going to turn out? How is it going to turn out? And do you think they deserve death or life for this? The both of them, even Terica. And is there a third party involved? It's interesting to find out if there was a third party involved, because Tim was in town at that time. So he could be the shooter. He's telling her his boys, but Tim could be his boys. So it's very interesting to find out how this whole mess will turn out. We're going to keep on it, keep tracking, keep up with it, and see how it goes. As always, thank you for watching. I'm glad you joined me. Let me know in the comments, what you want to know, how you think it'll turn out. This has been Queen Amina Black Love. Much peace and love to your day. Bye bye.